Well, it's shitty light, but I just wanted to make another video for you guys out there. Perhaps if I turn this one on, maybe. There we go, a little better. I wanted to tell you all out there, and I've told some other people, and it's a very funny story. I want to tell you about the time that me and my little brother Red in LA, we met the motherfucker with the one eye. And I'm not kidding you. Alright, so rewind 2013, maybe 2014. We're in Los Angeles, in Hollywood to be exact. Hollywood. And we're, I'm selling stones. I didn't have a truck then. I was hitchhiking and on foot. And we were just traveling around, and we'd hike out 20 miles in the middle of nowhere and dig up rocks. We were a lot crazier a few years back. But anyway, so we're in Hollywood, and I had just had a phenomenal day. Hollywood is one of my best spots for selling stones and gems and minerals. It's also a spot where if you need, there's weed everywhere. So, I'm stoked because I can get a whole bunch of different kinds of anything. I hate California, but I don't mind Hollywood because I can make good money there. Anyways, I digress. So we're in Hollywood, and Red had a bad day, man. He made $20 playing his guitar. This is before he started doing stones. Now he's doing stones. He learned from his bro. But so anyways, we meet these Widespread Panic kids. I don't know if you know who Widespread Panic is. It's it's kind of like a Grateful Dead, Fish type, band movement thing, except they're primarily better off, well-to-do kids. They're like Burning Man style kids, and if you don't know what Burning Man is, I don't know what to tell you. They're a bunch of yuppies, like trust fund account kids, kind of, like those kids. I have some friends who go to Burning Man, so it's not all like that, but it's majority. Anyways, I'm getting off track like I always do. So anyways, we meet these Widespread Panic kids, and we trade them for some weed. They buy $300 on top of the $400 I had already made that day of stones and jewelry and shit. And he's like, "Hey, do you guys want a dose?" And so I was like, "Hey, Red, what?" He's like, "Well, yeah." He's like, "Well, come back to the car, and we'll hook you up." So we get back there. We didn't really have anything to put it on, and I didn't want to just dose right there in Hollywood. We needed to figure out a plan. Walking around frying face in Hollywood with your $80,000 in gemstones, and I'm not exaggerating, and a nice guitar is just not smart. It's just asking to get jumped, and I wouldn't be able to defend myself. I'd be like, "Here, take it, here." Anyway, so I sent Red in to get some sweet tarts, and he comes back with those extra big ass sweet tarts like that. You know what I'm talking about? If I could take a knife and we carve the top out of it, and dude just goes on both of them. And we've been talking about Panda Express all fucking day long, and there was a Panda Express right there. So the plan was to go to Panda Express, eat, come out, dose, walk down to Sunset, to Sunset Boulevard, or was it down Sunset? No, walk down to Sunset, because Sunset's where we caught the, I forget what numbers, the 332, and that would take us all the way down to Santa Monica, which is where we had planned to go, because there's plenty of wing nuts in Santa Monica, so we would have fit right in if the cops saw us frying face. And I'd actually ate mushrooms in Santa Monica years and years and years and years prior to that with a good friend Mickey. I haven't seen that kid in a long time, but yeah, we ate mushrooms there in Santa Monica, and yeah, it was wild. So we start walking down to, so we go into the Panda Express, and I look down to grab my dose, my sweet tart dose, and his is gone. So I look up, and he's all, and I'm like, "Oh no, shit!" So I ate mine. So we go to Panda Express, and I'm not kidding you. Usually, LSD takes 20 to 40 minutes, sometimes an hour to hit you. We're eating Panda Express, and I could just, all of a sudden, I could feel my jaw getting all, my butterflies in my stomach. So I told Fred, I said, "Hey, bro, we're going to have to get ready to go, man. I'm starting to feel that shit, dude," and he's like, "I don't feel nothing," and his eyes are all bright. I'm like, "Bullshit, dude, look at your eyes." And he starts laughing, and we ended up, not being able to finish our food because it came on very fast. Like, there was quite a bit of LSD in there. He puddled us good, but it was also really good LSD as well. And so we ended up kicking down our leftovers to some cats outside that were hungry. They were hitting up for white boxes. So we grabbed their shit, started walking to Santa Monica. Red almost got run over by some Chinese people. And, like, when they stopped, they looked at it, but he was like, "Oh, welcome to America." I'll never forget that shit. Anyway, they looked at him like he was mad. And, like, he started walking, and they sped off, and we got down the Sunset Boulevard, got to the bus stop, and we're like, okay, we're almost there. And then we meet this transsexual prostitute named Sweetie or Tweety. Yeah, it was Tweety. And I remember he had this Eye of Ra, like, pyramid t-shirt on. It was talking all kinds of crazy shit. And, I mean, the LSD's coming on pretty hard. I'm barely able to hold myself. And here's Tweety just going off. But he's got this, and it winked. It winked at Red, and Red was like, "Dude, your sweater winked at me." And he was like, "Yeah, sometimes it does that." A bus came. It was packed to the gills. I was like, no fucking way. Waited. Tweety tweeted on. And by then, I was barely keeping myself together. And I saw a bus. I saw Santa Monica. I looked at it. It was empty. It was like an accordion accordion bus, extra long. So we hopped on that motherfucker. And I remember, like, I went to go get on, and I looked, and Red had this stupid giant backpack. I fucking hated it. But he had this stupid giant red backpack he wore. And he couldn't fit in the front door of the bus, so he had to go to the side double door to go in. And I'm trying to maintain composure here, so I'm paying for him too. She's like, okay. So I pay, and I turn, and the bus just goes... just started melting, and oh god, I was like, holy shit, dude. I could see the seat I needed to get to, but it looked like it was a million miles away. So I started heading over there. The bus starts going, so I'm moving, it's melting, I'm moving, and oh my god, dude. And all of a sudden, like, I hear this, "Look at these two motherfuckers getting up on the bus with all this shit. The dumbass motherfuckers." And I look around, and there's this little black dude, bald, old, like Popeye is what we called him. With one big old eye, and it was this eye that was like out. No, it was this eye. It was this eye that was still there. This eye was gone, and he was all like, in the seat, right? And I'm like, whoa, OG, it's just our stuff, bro. It's not a big deal. And he goes, "Oh, the motherfucker with the two eyes is trying to start some shit with the motherfucker with the one eye." Needless to say, I sat down and I died laughing. I put on my Big Daddy sunglasses even, dude, because it was dark, right? I was laughing so hard. And he turns to Red and goes, "Oh, you gonna remember the motherfucker with the one eye." And every time he said the motherfucker with the one eye, he would grab it, roll it twice, and throw it at you. That's the movement he did. The motherfucker with the one eye. And he would look at you, and he had that lip. Oh my god. Anyway, so we're rolling down towards Santa Monica. Popeye's just going off. He's going ham over there. Like, he's talking about khakis and shit. He's like, "These bitches got me crawling out the mud puddle, wearing the khakis. The khakis. These bitches, you know what they want. But they ain't gonna get it. Not from me, they don't gonna get it. I keep my one eye on the Lord. I keep my one eye with the good book." I mean, and he's just going off. So you can imagine how hard I'm trying not to laugh. Like, but I am laughing. I got the Big Daddy shades on. Like, I got my hat on. I'm covering up and I'm crying. Red is laughing, and he stops and he turns. He looks me dead in the eye with one eye and goes, "Don't think I forgot about you. I got your fight. It ain't the fight you looking for. I keep my fight with the good book. I keep my one eye on the good book, my one eye with the Lord." And I was like, "Okay, bro, I don't want to fight no, man." He's like, no, motherfucker with the two eyes would not win the fight with the motherfucker with the one eye." I'm like, "I don't think I would, man." And like, he turned, because the bus had stopped, and I'll never forget this. This chick got on, and she was hot, like, fucking mini skirt, dude. You could see, well, you could see fur and early morning dew. And I was too high to really care about poon at the moment. I don't know if you've ever eaten LSD, if you've ever had sex on it, which I have. It's not all that great. It's kind of gross. But I was more blown away by the fact that I could see her vagina than I was turned on by the fact that I could see her vagina, if that makes any sense. I was just like, wow, you can see her beaver, you know? And so, motherfucker with the one eye goes, look at this bitch showing off the pussy. You know what you want. You know what you want. You know she gonna get it too. But she ain't gonna get it. Not for me. Why? Because it keeps the motherfucker one eye with the book and one eye with the Lord. Oh my God, dude. And then she got off. And it was right in front of me. Like the beaver was there. I could see it. And I looked up and she smiled at me and stepped off the bus. And right when she was doing that, he was like, look at this bitch stepping off the bus with showing off the pussy. You know what she want. And she gonna get it too. And she gonna get it from one of those brothers out there. But she ain't gonna get it from me. I don't think I could have laughed any longer or any harder than I ever had laughed on the way down there. The motherfucker with the one eye is going off now, right? We're rolling along. All of a sudden, this dude gets on, and he's wearing brown khakis, right? And there was a guy that was already on that was sitting down that had green khakis. The man with the motherfucker with the one eye was really irritated, and khakis was a trigger for him. Well, anyways, the dude with the brown khakis got on the bus and screamed. They were gay. And he and ran over to the dude in the green khakis, stood up, screamed, bounced up and down. They hugged, sat down, and promptly started making out. And look at the motherfucker in the green khakis, rubbing all up against the motherfucker in the brown khakis. That's nasty. They trying to get my one eye, but I ain't going to let them get it. I keep my one eye on the good book, my one eye on the Lord. And I was laughing again. Red was laughing. And I don't know, I remember kind of zoning out, and he was just gone. Poof. And for a while, we were pretty convinced he might have been like Jamie Foxx or something, or we were on TV, but we never, if I could only get that video of that bus ride, I would be all about watching that shit, because that must have been hilarious. I mean, it must have been great. Anyways, so we get off, and we end in Santa Monica, and we get off, and I don't speak fluent German. Ich spreche Deutsch very little. You know what I mean? I know a handful of words, but these Germans were walking down the street, and they stopped and asked me a question in German, and my brother can vouch for this. I fully had a 5-minute long conversation in fluent German with these Germans, and I don't know how I spoke German, but I spoke fluent German, and I understood. We were talking about they were from Munich, and how they were visiting the States for 6 weeks, and how they loved it, and they were really blown away that an American spoke German as well as I did. I sounded like I could have been from Berlin, yada yada. It was really fucking weird. And then they were Guten Nachten, and I was like, oh, Guten, and they took off, and Red looked at me and goes, I didn't know you spoke German, Shasta, and I was like, well, I don't, and he was like, dude, you just spoke German to those motherfuckers for 5 minutes, bro, and I was like, did I? And he's like, yeah, and I was like, oh, shit, I did, I was speaking German? He was like, dude, you were speaking German to them. I was like, whoa, so it was weird, but anyway, yeah, I just wanted to share that experience about the motherfucker with one eye. I wish my little brother was here. I'll have to have him chime in on this maybe someday, and we get together and tell the story. It's pretty fucking funny. And there's pieces that I forget, and pieces that he remembers. But yeah, so if you're ever out in LA, you got to watch out for the motherfucker with one eye. Anyway, be good to each other out there. Careful, there are retards.